What's up, everybody? Oh, I just hit myself on my dresser. What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Sophia, and today I am going to be doing a Get Ready With Me special. I already did some foundation over here. That's why I look a little hot and not. Just kidding. I love myself without makeup, okay? But today I just wanted to sit down with you guys and do a quick little Get Ready With Me. Please ignore this. I got a sticker on my shirt. It's a long story. I voted and it's a lot going on. Anyways, so I have a lot going on my face today, and I also have a lot going on in my life today. My best friend Carol just came into town, and I was slacking on getting ready because I was using my new Dyson hair dryer on Carol. And let me just show you guys really quick. Like, this thing has changed my life in so many ways. I should have done an unboxing with you guys because the packaging is actually really cool, but I didn't think it was cool until I opened it. But yeah, basically, like, I literally just, all I did was blow dry my hair today, and it just gave me like all these little curls. So obviously I have tape-ins and it really helps. I'm gonna do a whole video like and tutorial on how I use it, but this thing is so cool. Now I'm just getting ready for the day. We are about to go do some like really exciting things, and yeah, so I just wanted to show you guys an updated quick little makeup routine. So I just got this little e.l.f. Trio the other day or yesterday at Target. Honestly, I only bought it because I really like this little thing, because if you have lash extensions, you can get like right in the crease, the little corners of your eyes and up here really easily instead of using like this or like a brush. And it's just way quicker. So I'm just going in with my MAC foundation in NC35. My fave color. If you have watched any of my videos, you guys know I only use this because my skin is super sensitive, and I think my skin is just like addicted to MAC. So if I use anything else, then it just is not good. So I am just putting a little bit of foundation on. I actually really like this e.l.f. sponge. It's really good. I have noticed that a lot of you guys in my last video wanted me to talk more about just life, and like, it's really hard to talk and do makeup sometimes. Just life, and then like, obviously, you know, I mentioned and touched on some of the drama in my life in my last video. And yeah, another zit, great. A lot of you guys wanted to hear more. A lot of you guys could relate to me, and it's kind of like a hard one for me because I don't want to give this person a platform. Like, I don't want to give spotlight to the situation and like let someone get any type of publicity or whatever, because they just don't deserve it, to be honest. But I also think it's important to talk about our experiences in life and how we got through them and how we're coping with them and whatever. And a lot of you guys reached out to me and said that you had a lot of family drama, and, you know, it's helped you a lot to cut like certain people out of your life and blah, blah, blah. So I was just going to kind of share a little bit of my experience and also how I get through that, and maybe like touch on a little bit of co-parenting since I'm getting ready anyways. Also, this is Dior. What is this called? Forever Skin Correct. I really like it. This is in 2W. I'm kind of a little pale right now, so this is going to be like kind of almost the same color as my foundation, but it's whatever. I also am breaking out because I didn't use vitamins in the last 2 days, and I find if I don't take all my vitamins, like my fish oil and like probiotics and stuff, my skin breaks out, and I have learned that recently. So I'm going to do like an updated skin routine for you guys. So anyways, I touched on my last video. Ooh, I'm going to switch to my little baby buster. I touched on my last video about like me going through family drama with people and whatever. And I think that it's really stereotypical for people when they start to, you know, do other things besides a 9-to-5, and they like branch off and, you know, do YouTube or become a DJ or like an artist or whatever. Like it's all of these jobs that I think that like our parents maybe don't understand, or like they're worried for us and they get scared and they don't know what's going on and they want you to just have a 9-to-5, just work and do whatever. And so like when you take that leap, or, you know, when you meet somebody, like I met Derek and then you guys take a leap together, sometimes people don't understand, which is totally understandable. People come from different generations, whatever. It's scary to some people. And that's just something that you kind of have to deal with your family when you go through that change. And it sucks, but you just have to kind of like stay positive yourself and just be like, oh, whatever, I got this, they'll get over it. Well, for me, I have always been, I was actually born in Mexico. You guys all know this. And I have typically, like, for the most part of my life, I was raised by a couple that was not my biological mom or dad. I never met my biological dad until I was 18, and I found him on Facebook, which was pretty cool. And so, but before then, obviously, I didn't know him at all. My mom was in the picture, but my biological mom, but I personally, I think a lot of it has to do with like trauma and whatever, and like a lot of memory loss comes with trauma. But I only have like my best memories with I call them my godparents, with this couple that basically raised me. They're the ones that walked me down the aisle at my wedding. They have always been there for my son. I visit them. I try to visit them at least once a year, most of the time twice. And they're just my family. Since I was a little baby, they have always been there. Since we moved to the States from Mexico, they just took me in on a whim and literally probably saved my life for the most part. They saw that my mom needed help and they gave it to her, and they have been my family ever since. For two people, like a couple, to do that, I think is very rare nowadays. And or just in general, it's rare, to take somebody in that's not your blood or whatever. And I think it just honestly was like a blessing from God, and they just knew that I was going to be a part of their family forever. So they took care of me for the most part of my life. And I think that a lot of my good qualities come from, being like a homegrown 300 person town chick. And I always consider their hometown my hometown. Now, I then started spending more time with my biological mom as I got older. She was in a lot of different relationships growing up. Boo-hoo, everybody has that same old sob story. Like, okay, who cares? Your mom has a lot of boyfriends and husbands. My mom always put her husbands and boyfriends first. So that's a common problem that I think comes with trauma of my mom. And I obviously never really understood that until I got older and I dealt with my own trauma. And it's just something that you learn from, and then you never obviously repeat it yourself. So, yeah, she was always just wanted to be loved, I think, by men. And that really affected our relationship growing up, because there was a lot of things going on that I think that she overlooked because she was in love or whatever, she wanted to feel loved by a man or whatever. So countless relationships, marriages, whatever. Fast forward, I had my son with my ex. Him and I are cool. He's a really good dad, but it's still really hard co-parenting, and it's really hard when you don't agree on where your child should live for the majority of the time. Everybody knows that, like, Q is at his dad's house sometimes and he's here sometimes. When you break it down, he's at my house and his dad's house about 50-50. Now, that really sucks because we live in different states. So it's not like a normal 50-50 where like I can just pick him up from school or his dad can or whatever, or like sports or whatever. If we're working late, it just doesn't work like that because we live in different states, and it's just how it is. That's what makes it really difficult for us. And it ends up like creating more drama than there needs to be because neither of us like really agree. So that is where we're at with that. My mom, I allowed to have a relationship with my son because she's a good grandma, and she, for a long time was really good to him. And there was only like a couple times where I didn't trust her necessarily to be around my son because of just her mental health and whatever. And after we got through those whatever little times, then she was, I guess, better. Like, she was doing better. She ended up getting into another relationship, another marriage. That's where I kind of drew the line, because I just don't want my son to have these he's already gone through, myself and his father breaking up and, adapting to a new lifestyle with me and Derek, his new stepdad. And granted, he was really young when that happened, which is I'm grateful for in a sense because it's kind of all he remembers. But I don't want my mom's relationships and breakups to confuse my son like it did for me when I was younger. And, I don't want my son to get attached to a certain guy or whatever that my mom is seeing and then them just all of a sudden be out of the picture. I'm sorry. I just feel like I cannot get enough like whiteness under my eyes today. I didn't sleep very good last night because Derek and I binge watched a show. So basically, that was like I'm using Bye Bye Under Eye now because that was just like way too close to my skin tone. So that's basically it. Whatever, I decided to make the decision that I wanted to limit, time or whatever, because I don't want my son to get attached to somebody that my mom's with, knowing her and her track record. Typically they're not the best people. And I also just don't want, even if they are a good person, which, a couple of them have been, I don't want my son to get attached to a person and then them walk out of their life. And, I wish that I could say that I believe that won't happen again, but it happens every time. So I just have to go based on facts and not on my heart or what I wish to happen. So, that being said, my mom has always had manic episodes. Recently, when she watched my son for a couple days, I trusted her to watch him, and she had a bit of an episode. And so that was the last time that we talked. And I'm saying a lot because I don't want to go into like these situations too much. But she basically involved herself in my custody battle with my baby's father, and also kind of bribed me for money. Now, this is something, it's very juicy, but this is something that you hear from a lot of celebrities, I guess. I'm not a celebrity. Look at me. Like, I'm in a poorly lit, like, needy AF sweatshirt, okay? But when you do have a following or whatever, I've heard this a lot in fucking rap songs and people's experiences, whatever. Lindsay Lohan, her parents, Britney Spears, her parents, whatever. I'm not comparing myself. I'm just saying these are things that I've heard. And I've always been like, wow, that's crazy. Because as a parent, you think to yourself like, damn, like I would never, take anything from my child. I would always want the best for them. And I would feel so proud of them if they were doing something that wasn't necessarily mainstream. It was something that, they're successful and they're happy and they're doing great and they're doing something that they really love and they're creating and they don't have to sit at a 9 to 5. They get to do more and whatever. Unfortunately though, parents, what I've learned, that have not gone through therapy to, take accountability for their own trauma aren't able to have those types of feelings for their kids because they have issues themselves. And that's just something that has really been hard for me to come to terms with. But I've had to because it's just how it is in my situation. Now, the upside to this is that I have become closer to my biological father, who I met when I was 18 for the first time. And, we have had a lot of conversations and a lot of healing, and I think he's a really cool guy. So that's been cool. But it also, I think, takes a toll on my trust issues because, in your life, you're supposed to be able to trust I love this little thing for this. This is so dope. In life, you're supposed to be able to, you set yourself up to trust based on your relationship with trusting your parents. And obviously, I don't blame him for this whatsoever, but my biological father was not in the picture. And you know, my mom was in the picture, but maybe shouldn't have been. And I had a lot of really good family around me, so I don't want to discredit them. So I had like a lot of aunties, and obviously my godparents really I really believe saved my life in a lot of ways. And yeah, so I didn't get that understanding of trust, and I know that now. So a lot of like trust issues develop because of that, and not in like ways you would think as far as like, oh, I don't trust you, you're gonna cheat, whatever. But just normal every day-to-day things, it's hard for me to let people in. I have like a wall because I'm like, okay, if I can't trust the two people that are supposed to take care of me and show me what it is to trust, and I don't even know what that is anymore, then like, what am I supposed to do, you know? So, not a sob story, it's a learning lesson. And I think it has made me probably wiser beyond my years than I would want to be, in a way. But like, I would never want, obviously, my son or anyone I love to go through those experiences. And I'm just touching lightly on the surface here, obviously. But it has recently gotten worse with my mom, and like her getting involved in my custody battle, and her doing like it's touchy for me to talk about, but like doing some things that are unforgivable, basically, like just unforgivable, and also involving herself with people that I don't want to be around my son. And that's just how it is. And I can't allow any type of trauma that has been that I've been affected by, that I have to work so hard on every single day of my life. Therapy, you know, like talking to myself, meditation, whatever it is, I have been through it to try to make myself better. So I can't allow those types of problems to even scratch the surface of my son's mental state. It can't happen. It's just not going to happen. And, you know, we all become our parents in one way or another. But for me, it's really scary because that's literally like the last thing that I want ever to happen. So I try to work really hard on any issues and trauma and whatever that I have had. And even recently today, like I went to therapy, and it's something that I suggest for really everybody, because everyone has some sort of something that they've gone through that they should probably work out. And just, I mean, even just to give yourself more understanding about how you react to situations, and you know, how you can just be a better person in general. And just talking to somebody is a big help. And it's everybody has something, like everyone has a story like that. So I'm sure all of you in the comments could tell me like a million things about, you know, childhood trauma and whatever. Like, we have to deal with that as adults, and it doesn't go away so easily. Like it takes a lot of work to get through that. So that being said, it's something in the last, you know, since I haven't uploaded, it's something that has happened since the last time I uploaded. I think you guys have actually even seen some of my family, maybe my mom or whatever, in my videos or a video. And so this is something that has happened pretty recently. So it's still kind of, I guess, fresh, but it doesn't hurt me anymore, because I'm not going to allow it to, which I'm really proud of myself for. And it takes a lot of work and whatever, but I'm really grateful for the family that I do have. I'm super grateful that I have a husband who has like a really dope family. Both of us have similar situations as far as like not being like extremely close with our immediate family, but we are really close with our, you know, like Carol, who's my best friend, and that's also my husband's sister-in-law. I'm really close with his brother, Ryan. He's like a big brother to me, and I'm forever grateful for both of them to be involved in my son's life, like super involved. And that is really just, you know, family. And that's just how it is. Sometimes families look a little different. And all I guess I can say is, if you're going through something similar, and it doesn't have to be that you're like you have a platform, or you are doing YouTube, or you know, like have a little following or whatever. It could be anybody, like anything. You could work anywhere and do anything and whatever, and still have a really toxic parent, or a toxic brother, sister, mom, dad, whatever it is. I guess the biggest pill for me to swallow was And it's something, to be honest, that I struggle with even now, is that I feel like I don't understand why people can get away with so much in life and without any type of consequence or remorse. And I know that that's a mental thing on their part, and it's like, obviously, how could you do that? It's because you have like a lot of things that you need to work out mentally. But it's still really hard for me to not be like, God, like, I want you to recognize this and apologize, or I want you to understand the hurt you've caused, or I want you to, whatever. But I've learned in the past literally like 4 weeks that you're never going to get that from a lot of people, because they just don't see the pain that they've caused, or they don't see the trauma, or they don't want to see it. And maybe that's a part of their defense mechanism or whatever it is. So that's been the hardest part for me, honestly. Like that's the only thing that I've really had to, like, I guess, try to get over in the past couple weeks. I'm using this honey palette, by the way, you guys. I haven't told you anything about what I'm using because I'm just like rambling. But yeah, I would just say that if you're struggling with that too, you could leave me comments and tell me how you got through that, or what you think about that situation. Because I think for me, that's the hardest pill to swallow, is like, you're like, damn, like, when is this person going to get the karma they deserve? Or like, when is this person going to, when is everyone going to realize what kind of person that this is, or whatever, and I sometimes you would think like losing a daughter or a family member, or, hurting someone's family so badly would be enough for them to be miserable or understand what they did or their consequences of what they did. But sometimes it's not. And that sucks. And I wish that I could just like play Jesus for a minute and just like give somebody karma, but I can't. And that's just a hard pill to swallow for me. I don't know why. I think I just have a lot of pride. So that's the situation, and that's me spilling tea. I would love to talk to you guys more about like co-parenting, because I think that we're getting like in the groove of doing it, a little bit more amicably. So that's another thing I'll definitely touch on. But I just wanted to update you guys, because I got a lot of feedback on my last video, and a lot of questions, and a lot of stories about your own families and stuff. And I was shocked at that, because it's like, damn, all we can do and this is like my message to end with, all we can do as people that have gone through that is like try really hard to focus on breaking the circle and like the cycle, I guess, not circle, but just really focus on healing ourselves. And, when you find yourself having qualities, because it's natural to have qualities of these people that were toxic in your life, like especially if they're your parents, because they raised you or they were around you a lot, or it's genetic. So it's normal to like, sometimes I find myself like, slipping into something that my mom would have done or whatever. And it's really important to just not beat yourself up for it, but to just realize like, oh shoot, okay, I get it. Now let me work on that. And let's think of how we cannot pass these traumas onto our babies, because the sooner we do that, then the better our kids are going to be, and our kids' grandkids are going to be. And I just want to live a really happy life when my son is grown up and he's 50 years old and he has a bunch of kids himself and I have like a bunch of grandkids. I just want to be able to look at that situation at a family barbecue and think like, okay, like I am not perfect, but I was able to do better, and I was able to create this life for these people and not pass down traumatic events that I easily could have. And it's easy to do. So I hope that all of you guys are healing. I'm using a little bit of Kenra spray really quick. I hope you guys are healing in your own way and getting over your family traumas. And if you guys want to know more about my family life, I would be happy to do more videos like this and share more with you guys. I honestly am probably going to end up editing out a lot of this because, like I said, I don't want to like go too into it and like give somebody a platform that doesn't deserve it, or, you know, like go too much into detail, because it almost like brings up things that I already have tried to heal. So yeah, that's pretty much the situation with my family and my story and whatever. And it's definitely not a sob story, that's for sure. I live an amazing life. It's just sad to see, you know, people that you thought were going to be a part of that life exit stage left because of decisions and choices that they made, and because they won't get help. And I think that that's just something that probably a lot of you guys have gone through too. And it's sad and it sucks, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah. And this is my makeup for today, you guys. This is like basically what I do like every day. It's very basic. I'm gonna put on some lip in a second. These lips are so chapped, I can't even deal with them. And then we are going to be going on a fun little, look at this. I got this Vaseline stuff at Target yesterday. So bomb. We're gonna be going on like a little best friend date, I guess. And I think that we're gonna vlog it because it's something kind of exciting. So I can't wait to share it with you guys. And yeah, please just, I'm gonna put a blur over this sticker in my whole video because it's just like bothering me so much. Okay, anyways, you guys, I love you so much. Thank you for listening to me rant. I hope you guys like these real videos because I'm just speaking to you guys straight from the heart, and really just telling you guys my story and hopefully helping you guys in the process. And if I can end with anything, it's cut a bitch off if you have to. If it is damaging you in any type of way, it's okay to cut them off, and it will probably hurt you a little bit, but in the long run, it is worth it for your happiness, your child's happiness, your family's happiness, and yeah, everybody's happiness. So be happy, guys. Love you.